is very limited. With a rocket that can put you into orbit or put you on the moon, there's a whole lot more we can do. And these are the same rockets that can launch probes out into the solar system, and these probes tend to be very expensive as well, and they run over budget. We've got the Mars Science Lab, which is hugely over budget, the James Webb Space Telescope, which Mike Griffin claims is not over budget, which is ridiculous because the current budget is five times what it was originally proposed to be. $900 million. Now it's at $4.5 billion. So it's costs a lot of money to do this stuff, but they just have to absolutely make sure that these budgets are what they're claimed to be when they start. So that would be something to do. Of course, that's just impossible because NASA is as much a political organization as it is a scientific one. So if I were the head of the organization, I'd probably just go play in traffic. But if I had to make decisions, that in general, sort of the lofty ideas would be to make sure that manned space flight doesn't step on unmanned space flight, and that these two go hand in hand.
Well, yeah, I would think that one of the things that you would be most interested in would be the space telescopes, simply because that's how you did your PhD using the Hubble, and of course the lifespan of the Hubble is starting to wind down. Is that something you're really excited about, or are you really concerned about it being that much over budget?
Well, I sure wish we could keep Hubble going as well as the James Webb Space Telescope because they do different things. James Webb is an infrared telescope, which looks way out into the sort of wavelengths that the human eye can't detect. Whereas Hubble is more of a near ultraviolet, near infrared, an optical telescope, and it sees more or less what the human eye sees. So I'd like to see more telescopes covering more of the electromagnetic spectrum, more X-ray and gamma ray stuff, more radio and infrared in space, and keep everything operating. But there's just not enough money to do that. And I also understand that there are other fields of this. Now, I'm not saying I'm uninterested in Mars, because that's not true at all. I'm more interested in stars that explode personally than Mars, just because that's my field. But I understand that exploring Mars is very important. I write about it all the time. And there are other people who feel exactly the opposite. Why study stars that explode when we can look at Mars? So NASA should be a pretty big tent for this sort of thing and allow everybody to do everything they want. I'd love to see more of this happening, but NASA is a finite budget. There's only so much room in it to do everything, and so some things get hit harder than others. That's just the way of things.
Before we let you go, can you tell us about any of your upcoming projects or appearances that people should keep an eye out for?
I give a lot of talks and don't always know exactly where I'm going to be in the future. However, I will be at Space Fest 2009, which is a space aficionado convention in San Diego in late February, and there are going to be a whole lot of Apollo astronauts there. I'll be there. Carolyn Porco from the Cassini mission will be there. Andy Chaikin, who wrote A Man on the Moon, he's an Apollo expert, will be there. A whole bunch of cool people. That's going to be awesome. Of course, I'll be at Dragon Con. I'm hoping to get to Comic-Con again. I grew up going to science fiction conventions. I'm hoping to be able to go to more. And, the occasional TV show. I just did some filming for a TV show that hopefully is going to be on National Geographic sometime this summer. And, just stick with my blog. And when I'm on TV or traveling or doing whatever, you can bet I'll be talking about it.
Speaking of your blog, give us a quick rundown of the various websites that people can find you on, JREF and Bad Astronomer and so forth.
My main website is badastronomy.com. My blog, if you go to badastronomy.com, it redirects you to blogs.discovermagazine.com/badastronomy. Badastronomy.com is easier to type because I blog for Discover Magazine now. I write for Swift at the JREF website, which is randi.org, randi.org. And I also post once a week to skepticblog.org, which is a companion blog to a pilot TV show that a bunch of us are trying to make called The Skeptologists.
Oh, and the International Year of Astronomy website.
International Year of Astronomy, just type that right into Google or IYA 2009, and you will see tons of websites about it, including it's on Facebook and, like I said, Twitter and MySpace, and it's all over the place. You won't be able to throw a rock without hitting some IYA event in the face.
Phil, thanks very much for your time, and good luck with the International Year of Astronomy and with your presidency of JREF and all your other projects.
Yeah, wow, that makes me sound pretty busy, doesn't it? Well, thanks for having me on.
That was Phil Plait, the Bad Astronomer. We'll put a link in the show notes to my review of Death from the Skies and links to Amazon.com and Amazon.co.uk so you can buy a copy of the book for yourself. You can visit Phil online at blogs.discovermagazine.com/badastronomy. And I think if you